All right, so um, this is going to be a two-parter of a review. I watched Madam Web today, and I actually haven't seen Furiosa yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow, but I'm just going to make it into one video because I don't really feel like giving Madam Web its own video. It doesn't deserve that. So, um, yeah, I watched Madam Web today, and I know this review's kind of late. It's like a few months late. Everybody already knows this movie's bad, but I just wanted to talk about it. Um, yeah, yeah. So this movie came out, and I didn't go and see it because I didn't want to give this bullshit my money. Because in my head, after the disaster that was, Morbius, I didn't want to watch it because I'm like, why would I give that fucking bullshit my money? It's a scam. These movies are a scam. They're only made so that Sony can keep the rights to the Spider-Man franchise. That's the only reason they're made. Like, people are saying, no, these movies are they're gonna build up to Sinister Six. That movie's never gonna happen. Okay, it's never gonna happen. These movies aren't building up to shit. They're just being made because fuck it. Um, these movies are a scam, and I don't want to support them. But with Madam Web, um, I was like, you know what? Why not? So I was gonna go see it, but then I was like, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to drive to a theater and sit down and watch this movie. I couldn't do it. So I didn't. And I honestly planned on never watching this movie, but eventually it came on Netflix. So at that point I was like, you know what? Now I really have no excuse. I should just watch it. I should fuck it, you know. So me and my dad watched it today. Um and hot take incoming, but this movie sucks ass. Yeah, I know, hot take. Um I just want to talk about this movie really quick just to make a fun double review, just so I have my thoughts out there. Um, this the Venom movies are kind of funny. They're not good. I don't really like them that much, but they have their moments of like kind of bullshit that I like. Morbius was mostly boring, but there were a couple funny parts. This movie is fucking soul crushingly bad. I could not believe how bad it was watching this. Um, it's got a good cast. Let me tell you something. Oh, by the way, whenever that happens, it's because the next song is happening on my TV. Because that's how I whatever. Um, Let me tell you something. I like the cast of this movie. Um, Dakota Johnson. Let me tell you something. I fucking love Dakota Johnson. I think she's hilarious. Every like interviews with her, like she just always seems like so like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, and I mean this as a compliment, like as an unironic compliment. She just seems so like chill. Like, I guess she just seems like someone you'd want to hang out with. You know, she seems very down to earth and nice. Obviously, I don't know the girl. She could be completely different. But from what I've seen in interviews of this movie, yeah, when the press check-in happened, she just seemed to not really know what this movie is or care about it. She just was like, yeah, I'm in this movie, I guess. And yeah, I'm in it, I think. And I just admire her. She just seems very honest and real, and I just admire that about her. She's also in those 50 Shades of Grey movies, which I've seen all three of them. Now, I mentioned this in my Scream 6 review, and a lot of people were asking me in my real life, were like, why are you watching that bullshit? Well, to be honest with you, the reason was because there was a girl I liked at the time, and she was really into those movies, and she asked me to watch them, so that's why I watched them. That's the honest to God reason. Those movies are fucking horrible. They're terrible. But, you know, they're funny. They're pretty entertaining. I actually think they're funny to watch with your friends or something. They're really funny movies. But I love Dakota Johnson. If she had a YouTube channel where she just talked about like just random topics, I'd watch the shit out of that. You know I would. And in this movie, she has that thing I like about her is like prevalent throughout all like the entire movie because she just seems so like over it. Like it seemed like on day one she came in like, oh, okay, I'm in a Marvel movie. Marvel movies are big, sure, let's do it. But then I think she figured out pretty early on that this movie like is just bad and made with like shitty reasons in mind. So she just like her whole performance is just like, all right, let's do it. Let's say my lines. Let's do it. And I just appreciated that. People say her acting's bad. Yeah, but I don't give a shit. It made me. I enjoyed that. I loved how fucking over it she seemed in this movie. Um, I don't even care. I had fun watching her for that. I love Dakota Johnson. I'm gonna see more movies with her in it because she just is hilarious. She's actually good in some movies, like Suspiria. She's good in that, but you know. But yeah, no. Every other actress in this movie just seems like they don't. They're like, I don't know. They just seem like they don't really know what the movie is or what they're doing. Isabella Merced, she like some of her lines like seem like they're like they didn't give her the context as to why she's saying that. Sydney Sweeney has nothing to do. By the way, Sydney Sweeney, you have this actress who, listen, Sydney Sweeney is obviously very talented and, you know, but like they hired her for this movie and they got this actress who is known for like, you know, I don't know how to say this, but like, you know what I mean, right? And they have her in this like schoolgirl outfit and they have her be really quiet and shy. And I'm just like, that's a little okay. That just seems a little weird to me. Like you got this actress, this very attractive actress, and you just have her in this schoolgirl outfit the entire movie, and she's like really quiet and shy, and I'm just like, okay, what the fuck? And Celeste O'Connor is kind of okay. She was the only one where she actually had character, but her character was really fucking annoying. So Adam Scott was okay. He tried. The villain of this movie, oh my god, I don't think he had a single line that wasn't ADR. Sometimes his mouth isn't even moving, and there'll be lines coming from him. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck? The ADR is so bad. It's like Mr. Freeze and Batman and Robin levels of shitty, because there are times when he's literally what he's saying does not match his lips. It's so bad. This movie's bad. Peter Parker's in this movie as a baby, and they never say his name, and it's weird because they tease his name throughout the entire movie. There's a scene in a baby shower where like they're like, oh, let's play guess the name, and then they say all these names. Is it Bobby? Is it James? Is it Jason? Is it Brian? Nope, it's none of those. And then you're like, oh, what is it? They never say Peter. Not that if they did, it would have been cool, but they just never say his name. So I was like, okay, that was set up for nothing? Yeah. The villain of this movie, his motivations are, he sees these three girls become Spider Women in the future, and they kill him, and they seek to destroy everything he's built, but we never find out what he's built. We know that he's rich. What is his business? Is he an arms dealer? Does he research spiders? How is he so rich? What the fuck? There's a lot of zooms in this movie that are really shitty, like crash zooms. It's really annoying. I don't know what they were going for with that. There's a lot of twisting the camera like this, and then like this, and then like this, and it's really bad. It's like, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I think they were trying to be cool, but it didn't look cool. It looked really shitty. Yeah, I don't understand what the fuck they were going for with that. I mean, I do, but they weren't talented. They didn't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, this movie's really bad. She steals a taxi, and I'm pretty sure taxis have GPSs when they get stolen, and she just drives it around for no reason, and nobody catches her. Also, she's a wanted woman in the movie, but by the end of the movie, she's not, which means that I guess the three girls were able to tell the authorities, like, yeah, this girl can see the future, and we were being hunted down by a crazy man, and they believed it. Okay. I just feel like, I don't know, this movie, I have no idea. I really don't think they'd even tried to make a good movie. I really don't think they even tried. I think that everybody, this is like, the best way to describe this movie is paycheck. Everybody was there to just fucking get this over with. Like, you can feel that making this movie, they just like were like everybody, except maybe the cinematographer, who was really trying with all those fucking, you know. You just get the sense that everybody else was just like so over it. They know what this is. They know that it's bad. They know nobody's gonna see it. So they're just like, let's just fucking get this over with. So much insane shit happens in this movie. Madame Web is born in the Peru in like a river, and then she sees it later. I don't know, man. There are some funny parts. Like, sometimes the movie gets so batshit insane that you're just like, this is funny. But for the most part, it's just boring. For the most part, I'm just sitting there like, I'm not having fun. This is uncomfortable for me to watch because of how shitty it is. There's a scene where the three girls, they're hiding in the woods, and then they go to a diner. And first off, they leave a campfire. They just leave that campfire. So let's hope that forest didn't fucking burn down. But anyways, they go off to a diner, and then for no reason, Toxic by Britney Spears starts playing, and they just start dancing on top of, okay, so they go to this table. One of them's like, let's go hang out with those boys, and they go and hang out with these boys in this table, and they're just talking to them. I don't know why they're just talking to strangers, and then all of a sudden they start dancing on top of the table, and and the guys are all like, yeah, these fucking hot girls are dancing on our table. And I'm like, who is this movie made for? Seriously. Is it made for guys and women and, you know, and like lesbians to be like, yeah, those girls are hot? Because it's just kind of uncomfortable, because in the context of the movie, these are teenagers. They're underage. The actresses might not be, but it's still weird. Is it made, like, it's definitely not, like, made to, like, empower women and little girls, because the lesson of this movie is just go up to random boys and dance on top of their table. Listen, and I'm not trying to slut shame or anything, I'm just saying, like, it's just such a weird, bizarre scene. And then Madame Web runs into the diner and hits the villain with her car. It's just, this movie's so fucking insane. Like, just like, I guarantee you'll not be able to predict what happens next. It is the Ben and Arthur of superhero movies. It's just so full of twists and turns. You just have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen. And I guess that makes it worth watching. I'm skipping this shit. Hold on. The Halo theme started playing and I was like, what the fuck? But anyways, there's just so much wrong. I'm probably forgetting something. I know after this review's done, I'm going to be like, yeah, I forgot to mention that. But there's just so much dumb shit in this movie. And the Spider-Women never become Spider-Women. At the end of the movie, we see a vision from the future saying that they are going to become Spider-Women, but we don't see that. We don't know how they become Spider-Woman. We just have to assume that they will. Also, Madame Web adopts these three girls because all of them have stories of how their parents like abandoned them or you know, are not in their lives. What are the odds of that? So I guess Madame Web has just adopted these three girls now. Yeah, this movie's just very bad. Everybody talks like this. What are you talking about? I don't know. I'm trying to protect you. Well, we don't need your protection. Everybody talks like that the whole movie. Yeah, this movie's dog shit. It is not. I can. This is the kind of movie I look at it and I can understand why people would see it as like a so bad it's good movie. I get it. Me personally, I just was bored and kind of uncomfortable with how much they just like, I don't know, there's just scene like the girls dancing on top of the table. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? What am I watching? It's just so weird. It's not a good movie. Dakota Johnson's performance was my favorite part of it. I don't really know if it's ironically or unironically, but it was my favorite part. Yeah. I give this movie... I was really debating whether to give this movie a 1 or 2 out of 10. It doesn't matter. It's just fucking numbers. But, like, I have no idea. It's one of those two. It's a 1 out of 10 because it's so incompetent. It's so, like... It meets the qualifications of a movie, I guess. But everything about it is just so amateur. I don't know. I think I'll give it a 1. It might be a 2. I can't think of anything that I unironically enjoyed in this. There's one joke in this movie that made me chuckle. There's one joke in this movie that I thought was legitimately kind of good. It's when Madam Web looks at one of the girls and says, "I know you. You flip me off." And she replies with, "That doesn't really narrow it down." And I watched that and I was like, huh. That was kind of funny. And that was it. That was the only part of the movie that like kind of got a legitimate laugh out of me. Yeah, this movie's bad. Everybody knows it's bad. I just wanted to make this for myself so that I know my thoughts on this movie, because I'm going to forget everything about this movie within a month. A month. Did you hear the way I said that? I was going to say like week, but then I was like, no, I'm going to say month. But I don't know. This movie's bad. It's really boring. If you like Dakota Johnson, I'd recommend it for that. But if you want to see her soul dying on screen for 2 hours, then yeah, this is a great movie for that. This movie's ass, bro. Can't wait for Craven. Alright, so it's the next day. And I just got out of seeing Furiosa, a Star Wars story. No, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, my bad. I thought it'd be funny to do this review in a car because, you know, it's Mad Max. Yeah, this is probably going to be the shorter part of the video because I don't really... Man, I start a lot of these reviews off with, I don't really have a lot to say, and then I talk for fucking 15 minutes. but this time I really don't have a lot to say. Furiosa is a pretty good movie. It's really good. I have seen every Mad Max movie. Mad Max 1 is a really good revenge story. Mad Max 2 is a lot of fun. Thunderdome, I don't hate Thunderdome. I think it's pretty funny. I think it's entertaining. It's definitely goofier than all the other ones, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's like, for what it is, it's pretty memorable. It's got a lot of memorable things like 2 men enter, 1 man leave, and all that shit, and Master Blaster. Like, I don't think it's that bad. It's definitely the worst one, but I don't think it's that bad. And then Fury Road. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Fury Road's a pretty good movie. I don't really want to talk about Fury Road that much because you've heard how good that movie is for the past, like, 10 years, okay? We all know how good that movie is. So I was excited for this movie. George Miller's back. It's a prequel. It's about Furiosa. It's got my girl Anya Taylor-Joy and my boy C. Hemi. And yeah, this movie's pretty good. I really liked it. It's definitely not... surprisingly, there's a lot of people going into this movie who have only seen Fury Road and not the other ones. So I feel like they're going to go in expecting another Fury Road where the whole movie, like 90% of the movie is like a big, giant action sequence. And it's not that. There is action in the movie, obviously, but it's a more personal story. It's about Furiosa. It's about her life. The movie covers like 15 years. So it's a lot slower than Fury Road. But I would compare it more to the first Mad Max, actually, because it is kind of a revenge story. And, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. It's visually gorgeous. It's got a lot of great shots. Chris Hemsworth is hilarious. He's so good in this movie. He's so funny as the villain. He's such an asshole, but he's so goofy and fun. And Anya Taylor-Joy is... I don't want to spoil it too much, but it kind of takes a while for her to show up in the movie. I was actually surprised with that, but no, she's really good. She's great. I guarantee you within like maybe 4 or 5 years she'll get nominated for an Oscar for something. But no, she's really good in this movie. Oh yeah, I mean she was awesome. She kind of like Max and Fury Road. She has like, I guarantee you she has less than 40 lines in this movie, but I don't mean this as an insult, but, I feel like Mad Max isn't a series where the main character needs to be, I don't want to say not complex, but they don't need to be these yap machines, you know what I mean? Her motivations are simple, her story is pretty straightforward, and her character represents that well. And Anya Taylor-Joy did great, a lot of great stunts in this movie, a lot of good action sequences. And the last 10 minutes of this movie are really, really good. I really loved the last 10 minutes, and I really love the prologue of this movie where it's about Furiosa's childhood. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed a lot of this movie. I would say my only issues with this film are it is 2.5 hours long, and you definitely feel it. It doesn't fly by, like something like, I don't know, like, I feel like Dune kind of had better pacing than this movie, and Dune 2 was longer, but I still, not that it was ever boring, but there were times when you're like, yeah, uh, there were scenes where I'm like, well, I guess I know why this movie's 2.5 hours long, but, and I thought it kind of sagged a little bit in the middle. There's this subplot with this character she meets, and I was just like, It was my least favorite part of the movie. The movie's divided into chapters, so I would say that was probably my least favorite chapter. But other than that, I really like this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. See it on the biggest screen you can. See it in IMAX. No, yeah, this movie was really good. I can't wait to see it again. Can't wait for it to come on Max. And you know what? A lot of people were rewatching Fury Road before this movie. And I haven't seen Fury Road in a few years, and I was going to do that, but I thought it'd be fun. It would be more fun since this movie is a prequel. I'm like, why don't I watch Fury Road after this? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch Fury Road, and I think this movie actually adds a lot to Fury Road. It makes the story of Fury Road feel bigger now that we know more about Furiosa, and it makes Fury Road kind of seem like the final battle of this movie. So, yeah, no, this movie's really good. Highly recommend it. Originally, I was going to do a double feature with Garfield and this, but Ibarra is out of town right now, so I can't, and I was going to do it with him, but I'm not seeing fucking Garfield by myself. I'm not doing that. I don't want to look like a pedophile in the fucking movie theater. All these families watching fucking Garfield, and there's this grown man, like, sitting there. But, yeah. So, but I still wanted to do a double review, and I wanted to talk about Madam Web, but I didn't want to give it its own video, so that's why this video is a double whammy, a double feature. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I'll be back with more reviews soon. A lot of TV shows come out in June. The Boys, The Acolyte, The Bear, and there's one more I'm forgetting, House of the Dragon. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming out. And also Inside Out 2, The Watchers. I'm not seeing The Quiet Place day one though. I don't really give a shit about The Quiet Place, but whatever. But yeah, Furiosa. Oh, a rating. I would give this movie I would give it a low 8 out of 10. A low 8 out of 10. I think that's a good score. It's definitely a night out movie. See it in IMAX, get some popcorn, some drinks, see it with your friends. A lot of fun. It is too long, and I think it could have been tighter. The pacing could have been a little better. There were some times where it felt like 2.5 hours long, but other than that, a lot of fun. Great action sequences, great performances, visually gorgeous. And Furiosa is just an awesome character. She's just an awesome character. And Anya Taylor-Joy was awesome in this movie. Yeah. I'm not seeing fucking Garfield though.